my channel Summary. This class we are going to see imports in Python. So to import any class, it's very easy. You can simply write import and the library that you want to import. So till now in our previous classes, we have done a lot of mathematical operations. So in this import, I'm going to import math library. So and I'll show you how we can use this, right? So now you have imported that library. Now you can use all the functions, inbuilt function for the math library, right? So we have learned how we can print what are the different libraries available or different functions available in that library, right? So to simply see what are the functions available for you in that library, simply dir and the library name. Okay, and you can see these many functions are available. Now you might see some of this are like log 10, square root, sin h, sine. There are a lot of things that you can do with this library, right? So let's try, few things that we know. So we have also learned how we can take out, pi, like pi is 22 by 7, right? So, but you can directly use pi here using the math library. So simply let's try to print what is pi, right? So yeah, you see there is a pi. I'm already getting an suggestion pi. Let me select that math.py. So you have to give the library name dot the function name as usual process. So let me just try to print this math.py and let's see if we can get this. So we are getting here, if you see here, 3.14 is the pi value I'm able to print. So I am able to extract the functions and able to use it in my notebook, right? So I'm able to do that. Let me just comment this one every time, otherwise this will print this directory. Okay, so now let's take a couple of more examples. So let me try square root, right? Square root is also one of the function inside this one. So math dot square root of what? Like this function takes the input or argument. So let's give 4. You want to print the square root of 4, right? And we know square root of 4 is 2. So okay, it's coming good. Let's try one more, and let's take something complicated, right? Which to let's take the factorial. So factorial is also I see here. So I will just go ahead and try the factorial. So if you remember what is factorial, guys, factorial is something that if you take factorial of 4, that means you have to do 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So the number that you're selecting -1, -2, -3, and multiplication of all of it, right? So if you're going to write this as a function, it is going to take some 3-4 lines of code at least and some logic to develop that using a math function. And a lot of libraries are available for different usage. So this is simply how you can use those libraries, right? That's why I'm giving these examples. So let's take factorial and let's go ahead and take the factorial of 4. Let's take not a bigger number. So factorial of 4 will be 4 into 3 into 2, right? So which will be 4 into 3 is 12, 12 into 2 is 24. So if you see here, I'm getting the correct answer. So this you can do for any library. For any library which is available, you can, whatever library you see for it's available of Python, whether it's a machine learning related library or any other Python library, you can simply import the library and you can use it, right? So let's take library which we can also create, or any module that we can create, right? So here I have written this my model.py. I have a file here where I have written couple of functions, right? And it's not something big deal. See, so I'm just printing something in the top and I'm defining two functions here. So I have the first function is a len underscore string, which takes argument of any string or any, it's take one input. And finally what it does, it finds I'm using the len function of the string to print what is the length of that string that I'm passing. Okay, and the second one is a divide. And this divide, what is doing, it's taking argument of two numbers and basically is dividing and printing, giving me a result, right? Let me just quickly show you. So if you see, I'm using this functions here, right? This functions what I have written. I'll just show you if this returns right value, right? So I'm actually testing both functions here. So let me just run this one. And if you see, I am testing this length string here. I'm giving a as an input, which has 3 characters only. So length is coming as 3, and second one is a division, right? So I'm giving number one 15 and number 2 is 3. So 15 divided by 3, I'm getting 5. So I know these functions are working fine. Let me just comment this. So now we have this my model dot py file here, right? It's a file. If you see here, it's basically a file, right? So let me just increase the size. Set easy. Okay, I hope this is much better now. Okay, so if you see, this is just a I'm able to test these functions. Now this is just a Python file here, right? And which has couple of methods described. And library is something like that, right? You have a library which has methods inside it or functions inside it, right? Which you can use, right? Which you can use somewhere else to get use that, right? Like we have used in math library. What we did, we imported it and then we used functions inside it, right? So this is simple my model.py. Let me just quickly save this, and now I'm coming here. See, if I write here now, what is my function name here? Len.string, right? Let's say if I go ahead and I give len.string, and if I pass any string inside it, test, right? So what it will give me? I know, I know, I think everybody knows what it will give, right? What it will return. It will return me that len string is not defined. You see here, I'm getting this name error, right? This particular function which I'm trying, it doesn't exist. And it doesn't exist, actually doesn't exist here, right? That's why I'm getting this error. But I have it somewhere else. I have it here in this particular file, or in better way to call it, let's call it, I have it in this module. Okay. So this my model.py, I will import this. And let me show you how. So simply just import my the exact name of the file, guys. Okay, my module, import my module, and if I run this, let's see what happens, right? So let me just increase this. Okay, so you see here, still I'm getting this error. Okay, and you know why, right? Because I'm using this library, but I'm not calling it. So if you see here, I'm using math.py, right? So if I use my module dot length string, right? Because this length string function exists in my module. It is if I'm giving directly, that means I'm saying it exists somewhere here. So fine, it's finding it here and it's not returning anything. That's why I'm still getting that name error. Let me run this. Okay, and I should get the answer now, right? So if you see here, it's giving me test has 4 characters. So actually it's calling this method here. It's actually calling this method, and you see I'm able to find what is the character, what is the length of that pass. If I change this to something else, let's say ABCD something, right? Some random value which has 7 characters. Now let me run this and we comment this out. So we return only one print. Okay, so now you see I'm getting here 7, and you might notice something else. If you see here, I'm getting something called imported, right? And why I'm getting this, guys? Because when I'm importing this math method, right? Sorry, my module library here, or the module, right, which I'm importing. If you see here, I have given something print statement here. I simply given print statement because I wanted, if my import is working fine, if actually I'm able to use this model, right? I wanted to print something. So I just written some print function, so directly print here. So I am able to know now, okay, this got imported, right? So I can also mention imported the lib. Okay, so let me, I'm saying this now. Let me run this, and you see the message that I'm saying important the lib. I'm getting this, right? So it's just a way that I'm able to know my model is imported and I'm able to use it. Okay, now let's say this len string I directly want to use, or I don't want to import everything from the my module, right? I have only 2 functions here, but I might have a list of 20 functions here, and I don't want to use everything. I don't require everything to use, right? So in that case, what I can do, I can write it in a different way. Let me just comment this one, and I can write. So I want to import only length string, right? So I would say from my underscore module, right? From my module, import length string. So what I'm saying is from this module, you only string this. I don't require anything else. You actually import only this, right? And before this, let me just show you this divide function was also there, right? So I'll just run that also. So my module dot divide. Okay, so divide, and I want two numbers, right? So this function take two inputs. So I'll give the same example, 15 divided by, or let me give 15 divided by 5. Oh, sorry, it's the input, right? So 15 divided by 5, and let me first uncomment this one. So I would just show you that it's actually working for all the functions which is provided there, right? And let me run this. So if you see here, first one is also working fine, which you already saw, and the other one, the divide function, is also working fine, right? Now, this is because I imported everything from this class, so I'm directly using all, okay? Now, what I'm saying is like, I don't want to import everything. I only want, only the length string function to work. In that case, I'm importing this. Now, what will happen? Now I can directly use this. I don't need to use my model anymore because length string is already divided here. Defined, right? See, so I'm importing this, and it nodes now. Like in from my module, length string is something which already known in this particular file, right? I'll comment the last one. It will anyway error out, right? Because it will not find divide anymore. So run this, and you see it's still getting the same output, right? If I show you this, what will happen to this now? So definitely this will get error, right? Because it will say my module is not defined now, right? Because it's looking for my module now, but it's not defined. We are only importing this, right? But if I import this divide also, let's say I want to import length string and divide. I have 20 functions in my module, but I want to import these two. So that is also possible. I will just call this out. I want to import these two from my module, import length string comma divide. So both functions I want. Now I can remove this my module, and divide is already known in this file. If I run this, this will work fine. So you see both are working, right? Right. So this is how we can, write functions in some other page and have it as a module, import it and use it, right? And this works for all the libraries, guys. Any libraries you pick, this will work. This is a simple way of importing, right? From any library. Okay. Now, if you ask me from module import, I've given two functions here, right? Two methods which are there. Now, what if I say star here? So we know star is something I'm saying everything. So basically star means I'm saying everything should be pulled out from that library. And you see still I'm getting my output correctly. I just ran it and still I'm getting my output correctly. Why? Because I'm saying from my module directly import everything. But no, this kind of things I would not suggest, because you will not know what exactly you're importing, and sometimes you mismatch in the name, and there are multiple ways that this can go to mess, right? So I would not suggest. If you want to use any module, you want to using any library, and you know what specifically you are going to use. If you don't know, that's okay. You are going to just import that module, that library, right? Just import math. We can just go ahead and use like in that way. But if you know something is specific and that library you're using for that particular use, I would suggest go ahead and use only or import only that function. Okay, you can simply use it, and directly you can use it also, right? You don't need to provide module name or library name dot basically that function name. You can directly also use. So it's easy to use and it doesn't mess in anything else. It's easy to name convention and everything. Uh, so I would suggest go ahead and do it in that way. Okay, so that's it for this class. If you learn something, if you liking my videos, guys, please support the channel. Very easy way to do it is just give me a like, comment. If you require something else to learn in this area, you can just put it in the comment. I'll try to come up with a video, try to resolve any questions you come up with. Thanks for watching.